Hi guys, and welcome to this second in our spooky review shows.
I'm not gonna lie, I've actually got goosebumps. When people call them goose pimples, it throws me off a little bit because some people do, goosebumps, exactly. But some people do say goose pimples, which is just a bit odd. But anyway,
I've never heard someone use that
really,
term.
I have,
No.
and it makes me feel uncomfortable. It gives me goosebumps. Anyway, I'm excited for these because these are three wicked effects. We will obviously talk about more in the video, as you guys know, but I just want to say again, thank you so much for support on the review shows recently. They've been incredible.
Yeah.
Well, even from the start, they've been incredible. It really does mean a lot, and your guys' support allows us to keep bringing you this content. So thank you, every single one of you.
Okay, so I want you to know as well that all three of the effects, and even the ones in our other Halloween review show, even though we've done them as Halloween because they're spooky effects, they can be used all year round.
Yeah.
And if you want to read my feelings on doing spooky magic all year round, have a read of Alakazam's latest blog. If you
Nice.
don't know where it is, go onto our homepage, scroll right down to the bottom, and you'll see the blogs there. My latest one is about performing spookier magic and why it's powerful all year round.
And it is powerful year round, isn't it?
Yeah,
brilliant.
it really, really is.
Right.
So go check that out.
So what are we going to start with? Which one?
Well, we've got three to choose from. Why don't we take a look at...
Should we do this one? Start with
Yeah,
this one. Right.
let's do the web. So to kick it off, we've got the web by Murphy's Magic Supplies. Now the web is a classic effect.
Yeah.
I believe it was released before you were born, because I'm sure I had these in stock when Alakazam was still in Lewisham.
No way.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure
that
I
would
did.
have been over 24 years ago. Can you believe
So
that?
the web is an absolute classic.
Yeah.
Really is a classic. It gives you a great jump scare moment,
Yeah.
but there is magic that's happening along the way.
Yeah.
Now, with this new version of the web, they've given you a completely new routine. We've got a performance of me doing it with Emma, which we'll show you in a moment. I've reverted back to pretty much the original, which was a colour Monty type routine where webs appear and vanish and everything else. But you get a lot more in this pack with regards to the cards you receive. You get little bonus cards, you get different routines, but the ending is always the same, and it's one of those killer endings which do not fail to get a reaction.
Without a doubt. So let's take a look at your performance. I'm excited to see Emma's reaction on this.
Emma, do me a favour, hold your hands out like a little table, put them together and just hold them just a little bit further up like this. We're going to try something out with these three cards. Now the cards you can see are blank, or at least one of them's blank. So this one's got nothing on it. This one has nothing on it.
Yep.
But this one over here, this special one, we've left this for a while, so it's got a spider's web on it, you see. Now, here's the thing. If you take the spider's web, we'll take it, we'll pop it to the bottom like this. All we have to do is give it a little shake and a little brush, and we can brush off the spider's web. So that will mean that's blank. And obviously this card was one of the blank cards, and this card was one of the blank cards. But the thing is, if you leave it for long enough, the spiders return and they leave a web. So they'll leave a web on the bottom card, they'll leave a web hopefully on the top card, and they'll leave a web in the middle card, you see? Now here's the thing, a lot of people think we're using more than 3 cards, but we really aren't. There's 1, 2, 3 cards. This card's got nothing on it, this card's got a web on it. And do you want to know what this card's got? It's got a spider on it. Hey! But I'll tell you what, look, we can make spiders appear on all of them. With your hand, just wave over and the spider will appear. Just wave over.
That, to be fair, I did not expect anything less because that provokes reactions like that.
It really does.
It's
I mean,
so good.
there is a story actually. If you watch this week's vlog, which is the last vlog, in my bedtime stories, I am going to be telling this story. I don't think I've told it before.
You've told me it.
Yeah, about me in the restaurant performing the web.
Yeah, well, they thought you made a thing appear.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great, yeah.
So
It's insane.
Check out bedtime stories and all will be revealed.
Yeah.
But it's a great trick. It's really easy to do. It's perfect for, you know, close-up, parlour, walk-around situations.
Yeah.
I perform this in walk-around in my restaurant acts. And the way I used to perform it was slightly different. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I saw Paul Zennon performing it like this. I think that's where I got the idea from. And basically what it was I would get them to hold their hand out and I would put a upturned pint glass on their hand and get them to hold the top. So they're holding the hand. And I say, look, I just want you to stare. I'm going to try and make something appear in that glass.
Yeah.
You're not scared of spiders, are you? Right? So you do all this, but nothing happens. You say, actually, lift your hand up. Maybe if I hold it, can you wave your hand? And now they turn it over.
Nice,
and it's on the back of their hand. And it sort of got rid of all the playing cards. It just felt a bit more impromptu. You could grab a glass, whether it's a wine glass or a beer glass. And there's no chance of them throwing the glass because you're the one that's holding it at that point, you know. So that's the web, super easy to do. There's nothing really else I can say about it. I think, you know, it's not hard to do, so an absolute beginner could do it. You can perform it in almost any situation, to be fair, and it will always get a great reaction.
If you're at the pub, though, a trick like this at the pub is killer, isn't it? Because you will get screamed, and you'll get like proper men like in it getting jumped. It's brilliant. It's so good.
I mean, it's even before they realise it's a spider. You know what it's like. You turn around, you see something. It automatically. I mean, yesterday when I was doing the live, I kept walking in there, and Jamie set up a skeleton sitting in your seat, and every time I went in there, I jumped. Every single time, because you just see something that's not meant to be there, and it's the same with a web, and then they freak out. But yeah, I mean, if you like this type of jump scare effect, I don't think you can get much better than the web.
Yeah, and it's a good price as well. So guys, check it out now, alakazam.co.uk.
So the next item on today's review show is one of my favourite effects by Nikolas Mavresis. It's called The Collector.
This came out in lockdown.
Yes, this came out towards the end of lockdown, I think, but we were still in lockdown. But this is one of those effects. There's a great story behind this as well, because when Nikolas sent me an idea for an effect, I looked at it and I said, I love the premise and I'm going to buy the rights to it, but I don't feel the effect's ready for release. Nikolas went away and worked on it for over a year with David Jonathan, and then he came back and said, do you remember that trick you bought the rights to? This is how it ends. And when I saw it, I just thought to myself, that's perfect.
That's it.
It's super clean. It's just perfect when you've got a group of people. You could do it over Zoom. For people, surprisingly, I didn't realise this, a lot of people are still doing virtual shows. It's still a big thing. And this is a perfect one for that as well. So shall we take a look at a performance?
Yeah, let's have a look.
Harry.
Father.
Over here I've got a little prediction, or we're going to call it evidence, actually. Now, you've obviously heard of Jack the Ripper, the most famous serial killer, I would say, in the world.
Probably.
Now, about 20 years after Jack the Ripper, there was another serial killer in London, and they called him the Collector. The reason they called them, or they named them the Collector, was because it was the first noted and documented case where a serial killer was actually taking what we now call trophies from their victims, something from their person, as a memory. Now, the police actually had 10 suspects, and I've got those suspects here. But once again, this was the first documented case where the police employed a psychic to try and help them solve the crime. So I want you to play the part of the psychic in this this little test. So I want you to imagine that you're walking about in Victorian London. It's night time. Okay, it's raining, it's quite drizzly out, but you can see the street lights in front of you. And just as you look forward, you see the sign for the police station. You walk in, you take your coat off, they take you into a room, you get your cup of tea, you're sitting there, you're trying to warm up, and they hand you this book of suspects. Now you're going to start turning the pages of the book, and then you're going to land on one. And you're going to think, this is the person. Now, in your mind, what number comes up between 1 and 10, which number comes up that feels right to you?
6.
6. Do me a favour, can you pick up the suspects and start dealing them down here? So we've got suspect number 1 was Benjamin. Number 2 is Henry. Number 3 is William. Number 4 is George. Number 5 is Thomas. And number 6 is Jason. Just pop it.
I'm not being rude by the looks of it. I'm happy with my choice.
But you could have chose any of these, right? But you ended up with Jason. Now, this was the thing. Back then, the police went round to the person's house that the psychic had chosen.
Right.
And they found the object. So the psychic was right. And the way they knew the psychic was right, let me show you the objects that were taken, by the way, which are inside this envelope. And you can check this envelope to make sure it's empty.
Yeah.
But the items taken were the following. There was a pocket watch, there was a key, there was a hip flask or perfume bottle, there was a diamond engagement ring, and there was a pipe. Now, the one thing that sealed Jason's fate was the fact that he had inscribed one initial from his Christian name on the back of each of the objects, which means the killer could have only been J.A.
Nice.
S.O.
That's brilliant.
N.
Nice.
Jason.
That is so good.
And that is the collector, and everything can be examined. So that's the collector. There's so much to love about this effect. It's a brilliant storytelling effect. So it's absolutely perfect for those situations where you're sitting round a table and you've got a group of people. So in a parlour performance, it's absolutely perfect. Everything can be examined. I will say as well, I was using the Pro size, which are bigger than poker, but we also do this in poker size. And I think everything about this effect, for me, ticks the boxes. I think there's intrigue because of the old photos.
They look fantastic.
And you can build, if you wanted to really build it up, you could sort of start telling a little story about each of the suspects if you wanted to really lengthen out the routine. But the nice thing is the prediction is handed out at the beginning for someone to hold or placed on the table. That's never switched. Everything within that envelope is taken out.
There's no hidden compartments or anything like that.
No hidden compartments. The envelope's empty afterwards. Everything can be examined. And the spectator can do all of the work. It literally, for me, it ticks every single box.
The story just grabs people straight away. And like you said, as soon as you bring out props that aren't cards, I mean, I know obviously we love card tricks, but as soon as you bring out something that isn't a card trick, it immediately draws you in, you know? It's so nice. And it's a great entry-level, bizarre-y type effect because the storyline is easy to follow and it's intriguing. You don't really have to put that much effort in for it to be like interesting, you know? And like you were saying about doing it all year round, crime documentaries are so like a part of everyday life now, really, you know? And all year round, you can just talk about, I've been watching crime documentaries, I found out about this killer, it was called The Collector, blah, blah, blah. And in that way, you're just in. But I think this is brilliant. This would be great as well for parlour or stage, especially if you get the pro-size cards, because it's easy to see. You can make music, sort of just bring the atmosphere down as well. And like you were saying, it's easy to do. The spectator can do everything. It's all examinable. It does tick every box. It's brilliant.
And I know a good friend of ours, Chris North, actually does perform this on stage.
Nice.
He's made a larger set for himself, and he does it as part of his Victorian magic show.
That's wicked.
But it's a superb effect, super easy to do. Gets my highest recommendation if you want a bizarre storytelling type effect. I think it's lovely.
It's killer. That is The Collector. Okay, now I'm excited about this one because this is, right, obviously I love all of Jamie's releases. Right? Bane I love, Scream, all of them I love, right? This one though, I really, really like. And this has been unavailable for so long. I mean, what? It's got to be over 2 years, isn't it? It's got to be maybe more than that.
Probably longer.
Yeah, probably more than that. But this is He's Not Here. Now, What I love about it is it's such a subtle piece of... Like, obviously, it's obvious to know what's happened magical-wise, but it's just such a subtle thing that's happened, you know? It's not a long-winded thing. It's just a beautiful story and a beautiful effect. And I just think it is just brilliant. I don't really want to say too much about it before, but afterwards we'll talk about all the benefits, because seriously, He's Not Here is so good. So, shall I do a performance? You want to see it?
Let's see it.
Let's see it. Let's see if he's here. Okay, we're going to talk about a haunting. Now, I know you're into haunted houses.
I am into my haunted houses.
But whenever we watch a horror film, you're on your phone. So I think deep down you're a scaredy cat. So we are actually going to talk about a serious haunted house right now. Okay, now this is in America. And they claimed, the owners of this house basically, I think it was in Texas somewhere, but whoever owned the house claimed that at 12 o'clock, when the grandfather clock struck, all the windows would fly open and they would hear footsteps around the house. Now, they would describe them as quite heavy footsteps, and I do know what they describe the person's look like, but I'm not going to tell you that just yet. Okay, so I want you to look at the photo, look at everyone on there, okay? Yeah. They all seem pretty sad, but I think that was just what happened back in the day, all right? Now, I'm going to collect up the images, and I'm going to show them to you, and I want you to take in some information. So look at someone on that picture for me.
Yeah, let me bring you around there to camera. Yeah, I have got the picture.
You've got one? Remember what they're wearing. Really take in all the information that you can.
Yep.
Okay. Perfect. I'm going to leave them actually down there. Okay. Cover it with your hand for me. Now, I said they could hear footsteps going around. Now, this was quite heavy footsteps. It was quite heavy footsteps walking around the house. And they would call the police round numerous times, and they would never, ever be able to find a trace of someone entering the building. It was very odd. They would do it all the time. And then the funny thing was, well, it's actually not funny, it's complete opposite of funny, but the owners of the house would end up passing away the day after phoning the police. So the day after they would see this person walking around,
they would die.
They would die the day after. Now we're going to lay out the family photo that we've got here, so let's lay it out here. So we've got, here we go. I'm going to lay out all the pieces that we've got, because you should have one piece. Lovely. Where are we? I'll move it along here a little bit. Perfect.
Yeah.
That one there. That one there. Okay, now you thinking of someone in here, right?
Yes.
Okay, now, can you remember what they looked like? Was it a male or female?
Well, it was 2 males and a female.
2 males and a female, but you focused in on one, right?
Yeah.
What, was that a male or female you were looking at?
Male.
A male, yeah? Did he seem like quite a tall male? Was it a short male?
He was quite tall.
Quite tall. Okay, now this is I'm a little bit nervous actually, because that's how they describe this gentleman as well. Was he wearing sort of nice clothes? Was he suited up, or was he wearing rags?
Suited up. He had a little handkerchief in his top pocket, I believe.
You're not joking with me now, are you?
No.
Okay, now this is giving me goosebumps, because that is the exact way they described that man, but he's never existed. He's never
he's in the photo.
He's not. Turn over your hand, because who were you describing there? Because you can't see what he's wearing. Who were you describing?
He was standing right there.
But he's not there. He's not there.
That is actually very freaky.
Okay, I hope that you just made that up and were joking around me, because if you did see him,
he was there.
Okay, well,
I'm
he's
telling
not
you,
there
he
now.
was
Okay,
there.
well, if you saw him,
there.
if you saw him, there's serious consequences. So let's just pretend you did not see him. Anyway, that is He's Not Here. Okay, so that was a performance of He's Not Here. Now, this is, I just love it. Honestly, I love it so much. It's so freaky, and now you kind of know what I'm saying about such a subtle bit of magic. Yeah. It's powerful enough to know what's happened, but it's just so subtle, you know. There's no like loud bangs or anything like that. This is just a nice calm one, but with a really eerie aftertaste. It's brilliant.
Yeah, no, it's really good. Now, the other thing I want to point out as well is the photo's torn, but you reuse the photo. So you're not always looking for refills or anything else. Also included in here, so with He's Not Here, not only are you getting everything you need to perform this great effect, but you're also getting another effect by Jamie Daws as a bonus, which I can't remember the name of. The Forgotten, I forgot it. There you go. The
you
Forgotten.
Got it on there
well
as well
done, Jamie.
That's
great. So the Forgotten's on here, and
Lovely.
Jamie's Tour's Force is taught on here as well. So you're getting a lot of value in here. You get the photos for the Forgotten as well. But this is the main effect. It's a wonderful effect. And like I said, even though the photo's torn, you're using the same photo time and time again. Yes. And this is one of those great ones. I love presentation in tricks. If whatever you watch me do, there's going to be a presentation to it of some sort. And something like this, an eerie story. I love things like this where people actually buy into it. You're telling the story and they're listening and enjoying and they're interested in not only the effect is the kicker, but the storytelling, and the story is, in my mind, 50 or 60% of the power to a routine like this. But having that kicker at the end where the person's not there and that moment of realisation in their mind, I think is really good.
It's good because, well, they don't see it coming. You know, they don't have a clue. Right until the last second when they turn that piece over, you do not see, like, you have got no idea what's going to happen. And I just think that really just sort of, you sometimes say, it knocks them for six. It does, because they just don't see that coming at all. You know, you've led them down this thing. Even though they're kind of buying into the story and they're relaxed, but as soon as you get there, you just caught them so off guard. Everything, again, can be examined, you know. There's no, like, double-sided pieces or anything like that. It's absolutely brilliant. I love it, and I think you guys, seriously, will love it as well when performing it. Again, this is another great one where it's easy to perform. There's not really much going on in terms of method-wise, but presentationally, you can really put a spin on this however you like. I think it's great. I think it's really, really nice.
And I will point out as well, when this was originally released, it came with a DVD.
Yes.
We've now put it as a streaming video. So you actually get it as a streaming video now. We do understand that a lot of you haven't got DVD players. So nowadays, when we're re-bringing stuff out and re-looking at it, we are converting the DVDs to the streaming platform. So you get everything you need to perform this incredible effect in this little pack. And I would say it's certainly worth checking out. And once again, it's such a small, compact effect that plays really big.
Literally, this could be one even for the whole room. Literally, it's so good. Fit in your little ticket pocket, instant reset. It's so easy to do, instant reset, pack small, can play big. The story you tell of it really sucks people in. It's brilliant, honestly. I cannot rate it highly enough. It's one of my favourite ever Alakazam releases, let alone Jamie releases. So you guys will love it.
And that is He's Not Here. Right, so that's it for this week's spooky edition of the review show. If you haven't done so already, please hit that like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you get notified every time a new video goes online. And we've got new videos going up pretty much every single day. Yeah,
whether it be reviews, performances, interviews, podcasts, we have so much content all to do with magic for you guys. So please, like Dad said, hit the subscribe button, even click the little bell icon, because as soon as we upload a video, you'll get a little notification saying Alakazam has uploaded a new video. So yeah, guys, you're going to love the stuff we've got coming out soon. We've got so many videos planned and things like that, and it's all thanks to you guys. So thank you so much for commenting, for liking, for telling your friends and family. It really does mean the world, and it allows us to continue bringing you shows like this.
So just to say, the ones we looked at today was the web, the collector, and He's Not Here. So if you liked any of those, go check them out on our website. And also, I will say before we end the show today, if you haven't heard Desert Island Tricks yet, go check it out. I'm hooked on them, absolutely hooked. And we also do, Jamie does a midweek episode. I say midweek, it's Monday. But it's called Stranded with a Stranger. That's your chance to appear on Desert Island Tricks. All you've got to do is send in an email with your 8 tricks, a reason why you chose them, a little bio of you, one book, and one non-magic item that you use for magic. Send it in at sales@Alakazam with the subject line My Desert Island Tricks, and that will get sent to Jamie, and you two could appear on one of our Stranded with a Strangers.
Exciting.
Guys, so thank you very much.
Absolutely. And I will just say, even though we've said it a million times, this was a spooky episode. We don't always review scary tricks. Obviously, if this is your first review show, we've just done it for October. We'll be back to brand new, some old effects as well to review. But guys, thank you so much for joining us.